This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand, 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Hey there, A and Deviants, Junior Adventures and Friends. Welcome to, well, unfortunately, it's not the next episode of the Dicey Bastards. This is an interlude where we're going to answer your questions. Bad news, England's on fire. Steve couldn't make it. Texas is on fire. Drew's like running for his life. And Bob's just walking the earth like came from Kung Fu. And so you've got only a few of us left. So who do I have with me? Let's start with Bob number 2. Ricky Guatemala.
I'm just going to stop acknowledging that.
Yeah, no, you're not. I almost, when I mailed you that thing the other day, I almost put Ricky Guatemala on the title. Like, no, this is mail fraud. I got
Yeah. That's one of those. That's one of the things. And then you'll be questioning why it never reaches me.
But Rick Waltier, how are you, sir?
Honestly, I'm just barely awake. So I was telling Gibby before we hopped in, I was like, I'd fallen asleep on my couch watching anime, and like, fortunately, I set a reminder on my phone, so I woke up and I'm like, oh, let me run to my computer. So I can't give you an introduction to myself right now because I barely know who I am. I write shit.
So we're recording this the day after Halloween, and I know that the Halloween is a huge holiday.
Who is that speaking to us, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I'm Emily Kaplan, E.M. Kaplan. I play Claudia normally, and maybe I'll play Claudia this evening. Who knows?
That'd be great. But okay, you were saying so because it's the day after Halloween, it is All Saints Day.
Yeah, I know that. No, I know that Rick and his family sometimes, or they used to do like a huge haunted house, and it's a really big thing with their household. And I was wondering if you were Halloween hungover.
I am a little Halloween hungover, but not because of that. Like this year, it was really hard to get into it. Probably because, well, it's an election year. It's a little stressful, all sorts of shit. But I mean, we decorated outside, and I was outside for the entirety of my town does trick or treating from 3 to 8, and then we do curfew. So I was out there for the entire 5 hours waiting for people, which mostly meant I was just sitting out there with my thumb up my ass because we don't get a lot of traffic. And then when we're done, we came inside. I came inside, and my wife and I would do what's called a dumb supper, and that is not dumb as in we're fucking morons. It's kind of a pagan thing where you have a silent dinner by candlelight. As kind of a reflection of those who have passed on.
Oh, okay.
And we do that one of those every Halloween. After trick or treating is done, we usually do a charcuterie board, which is really fucking awesome. And yeah, I think the whole thing just ends up being kind of like a little Halloween hungover.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Let me ask you all this, because my neighborhood where I live in, I live in this there's one off the side of the street. And it's a big loop and like that. And there are very few kids that live on this street. Okay. And we've been living here for almost 13 years now. There used to be a few, then they're gone. It doesn't matter, but there's really no Halloween for the 12 years we've been living here, give or take. Once we had a kid come to the house once, like at year 3 or 4, and also I have a giant hill. My house is up on a hill. I have a 100-foot driveway. It's like a 30-foot incline. It's a hoof. So I'm sitting there last night and we do not have front lights on. We do not have porch lights on. We do not have decorations. But I'm sitting there, I'm on just relaxing. I'm actually playing a little bit of a video game and I hear kids giggling. I'm like, make sure that's not haunted. No. I said, Val, to my wife, I think we're gonna have ding dong, ding dong, ding a 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 ding 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 dong. I'm like, okay, one, kill the kids, kill them. And but kids showed up and but there were parents. So on this street I live on, there's all this new construction at the other end. Where 12 new houses went up in this one. It used to be just fields. So all these, we call them the new folk. The new people got all their kids together on one of those little isn't this fun? We'll put them on a go-kart and or a golf cart and take them from house to house. But no one, all the houses around this loop, we don't celebrate this shit. So every kid's going around trick or treat. We're who the fuck are you? That's
the wrong attitude.
Candy.
The fact that you live on top of a hill, you should make it a prize. You should have like every year just have 3 full-sized candy bars, and for those few kids who are brave enough to climb that like hill, and when they show up and they like walk down and they're like, I have a full-size Snickers.
Exactly.
That's a cool idea. I was actually imagining you up there with some kind of like sniper turret
Oh my
set up.
God, yeah. Well, I thought about one time just getting up there with like a paintball gun and just like, make them earn it. You want to come up here, you got to earn it, pal, But no, unfortunately, my wife won't let me do that. And,
So wait, you weren't prepared for trick-or-treaters. Did you have anything to actually give them?
I had to give out my own personal stat because every Halloween I go to
asparagus,
Walmart.
kid.
Yeah, no, like I go to Walmart to be right like October 1st. There's going to have those giant bags of the peanut butter pumpkin Reese peanut butter cups, like the best ratio. That and the Christmas trees are the best peanut butter to chocolate ratio. And I grab a couple of my personal bags for myself. These are my treats, so I had to give them that, and I am not happy.
You know what
I
I'm
am
going to do?
not happy.
One year I'm going to lose my fucking mind and just say, and just, you know what I'm going to do? I don't care how old the kids are. Everybody gets condoms. And you know something? And I'm just gonna and I'm just gonna just wait to see the posts on Nextdoor of all the angry parents saying I had to have a really uncomfortable discussion with my 6-year-old.
Give them female condoms. Really mess them up. Just like
What the heck? I'd be all like, "What is this?"
just people rings and IUDs. Yeah, I guess I get curmudgeon because like this Halloween I'm just not feeling it either. This particular one, like we didn't celebrate, we don't do anything. My son's also he turns 13 in a couple of months, so it's like he's out of that. He'd rather just sit in the basement playing on Discord with his friends. That's his thing. He didn't even know people came to the house. So
it's like, Dad, I don't need to trick or treat. I've discovered Pornhub.
Oh no!
His showers have been getting longer recently. So yeah.
Oh no! Well, you said he was stinky before. I hope he never listens to this. Maybe this is a good thing.
How about you, Emily? How was your Halloween?
My Halloween was extremely quiet. At home, at work, people went nuts. Like I'm in a rather large office building, and every row of cubicles had some kind of huge festive thing going on. There were contests. There were people in costumes. My coworker, my counterpart, is very pregnant, and she was wearing an avocado shirt, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wear a costume. I'm not into it this year. So my younger kid drew me a piece of toast on a paper, and I put it on a piece of cardboard and just wore it like with a rope around my neck, and she was avocado and I was toast. So
yeah, my wife did a really easy one for her job. We did this big yard sale a while back, and we were trying to give away a bunch of stuffed animals, including a bunch of Beanie Babies and stuff. So she went out and she just found all of these stuffed cats we have and just stuffed them in her pockets and stuff. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm a crazy cat lady.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
I swung by the grocery store to pick up the whole family's various medicines and things like that. As I'm the house dad, and I'm standing in the line in the pharmacy, and the first thing I noticed is like, is that lady wearing blackface? What the fuck is going on?
Oh no.
No, she wasn't. She was like a Mad Max Road Warrior. The goggles were on her forehead, but from a distance, she had smeared all the dirt on her face. But when I was walking up to the pharmacy line, I'm like, oh no, okay, no, okay, crisis averted. Okay, not a problem. But the lady next to her, I mean, the lady working the counter, she was a cowgirl and like that, and I'm like, that's cool. But the lady behind her, like, she's just wearing this weird outfit that's kind of like turquoise and yellow, and this hat on and like that, and she's wearing these fake, obviously, like this wig and like that. I'm like, what? And then when she steps back from the counter, it says Australia across. I'm like, oh, you're the breakdancing girl from the Olympics. Oh, okay, well then she's like, and she poses, all right, and she starts doing it. I'm like, oh, okay.
So note to self: if you dress up as Lord Humongous, you're gonna have Gibby calling you a racist.
Well, no, if you stood there like Zardoz with your package out, okay, that's one thing. But no, it was one of those like dirt dweller kind of thing, like the goggles on the forehead and a lot of just dirt around the eyes and the face. And I realized that's what it was. But I'm like, for a second, I'm like, oh my god, I think we went. Oh no, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So,
what would you have done?
I don't know, honestly. Here's the thing, like the town. I'm not even going to go on to that. The town I live in is a little on the. I have seen it here when we first moved here. So at one Christmas and one Halloween, the wife and I we went to the restaurant. It was a Halloween thing. Like we didn't dress up. We just went to this one restaurant in this new town we moved to, and like it's a little rednecky kind of ish of a town, and they're like, oh, no, we just never went back to that restaurant. We're like, okay, like that's it.
Can you imagine that? Like just the power of something like that, of you being a pharmacist and deciding to dress up as the most offensive fucking thing you can imagine, and then as people come in, you're basically like, if you say anything, you don't get your meds and you die.
You want to continue to be
say a word, motherfucker.
You don't get your Zoloft today. Yeah. Not alone your diabetes.
No. When you get home, explain to your wife why there's no Viagra for her.
No, it's called being around 50. You're like, But anyway, we got some questions. Do you all want to answer some questions from the folks, from the good people in the Discord?
Yes.
I mean, do I want to?
No, we got to fill time. We got to fill things. But we do this for you guys, our loyal patrons, where you too can, if you join our Patreon at patreon.com/authors and and head on over there for just $5 a month, you too can join the Discord, interact with hundreds of fans, talk to us authors, and you too can post questions and post all kinds of weird stuff, and maybe we'll talk back to you. We probably will.
At that point, you've pretty much purchased a small piece of our soul, so the least we can do is answer questions. When you're like, so would you rather take a spiked dildo or
unfortunately, no one
Godzilla's fire breath
docking,
up your...
exactly. And if you don't like that, please head on over to authorsanddragons.com, check out our TeePublic link or Teespring one of our t-shirt goddamn links, and buy our swag from there. All right, shilling out of the way. Let's get to the first question from Zach of all trades. It's common knowledge that Jorser and Stan were originally backup characters from the early days of the podcast, but now that they are currently in use, do you all have any other backup characters in case of a TPK? That's total party kill for you non-Dungeons & Dragons playing nerds.
No.
You don't? Really?
Something. If Moog dies, I will come up with something, but I prefer to kind of come up with things like it's rare for me to have a backup character where because here's the thing: if I have a backup character, chances are there's a reason I want to play that backup character, and if I want to play that backup character enough, I will find a way for Moog to die. I will self-sabotage. So I don't really like to do that. I like to kind of more come up with it on the fly because because one of two things. Like I said, I like the concept of shit happens and then it forces me to get creative. Or, like I said, I don't want that anticipation of either I want to play this character and either knowing that I'm going to self-sabotage or I'm not going to get a chance to play this character. So I don't really come up with backup characters.
That's totally interesting. And also I think you have to let your DM know if you actually do want to die and start, because I tried a couple of times to kill Claudia with Rachel as my DM and she kept bringing me back and I'm like, but okay, never mind.
I'll just say right here, since we are on a podcast, watch it. We somebody will edit this part out. But no, I'll be perfectly honest. I have always been a fan of going where the dice rolls. So if the dice ever roll against Moog in such a way, oh well.
Yeah.
I always have a character whenever I'm playing in a regular game. Obviously, I'm running this one, but whenever I'm playing in a regular game, I usually have an idea of something just in case. But I like to just be in the moment. I like to, when I'm playing, I like to be in the moment. And my next level is completely designed around what did I learn in the game. So if this character, all of a sudden, I plan on it being the 5th level this way and 10th level that way. No. I'm like, when I'm level up, what did I learn? What am I missing? What could I do to help? And that's when I pick my level up. Sometimes I'll multi-class. Sometimes I'll pick a skill or a certain thing, or what am I missing up, or what is the group not having that we could help?
You are much more thoughtful than I am.
Well, I mean, there's always gonna be a level of person. Now, granted, when I play my more evil characters or more selfish characters, how else can I manipulate the group? How else can I pretend to be their friend? How else can I still get what I want? I was running this one warlock that the one character wanted magic, so I was working with my patron to get him magic by killing off other people and sewing their body parts onto this barbarian and slowly changing him over time. It I like the game to tell me the story. Like I'm
No,
evolving
I
as the
get that.
game evolves.
Yeah, Rick seems to be the opposite. You are and it's admirable. You are so true to your characters, like Silas. You will play Silas as Silas to the end, or Moog too, which I really admire. I'm more like, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll figure out what this does.
Yeah, but you know something? I appreciate that chaotic element to Claudia. In fact,
Oh, we all do.
like I was telling Gibby, you know, I don't think it was you were on yet, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that in game, Moog is kind of terrified of Claudia.
No, we talked about that. And like everybody's a little afraid of Claudia because it's like they've just seen things that like they just the randomness that can like they're 1 minute sweet, 1 minute choke a bear to death, 1 minute like how's everybody doing, next minute skin that bear,
Yeah.
But but the problem is like it's never like it's not some aggro. I watch too much MMA. Look at me, tough guy kind of move. It's this. I don't even think about skinning this bear in a bed with other people.
Yeah,
It didn't even
this is
occur
full
to
on
me.
like Dexter shit.
Right. Well, even Dexter was methodical. No, this is I'm like just skinning an animal, and it's completely normal. How y'all
Except
doing?
here's the thing: she wasn't skinning an animal. Quality Time was a person who had been transformed. It was a set. Basically, she's wearing a guy's face on her own. She's going full on Hannibal Lecter here.
Someone had asked
Except
me about that.
there's no evil like overacting
Right.
behind it. It's all just like just kind of like go with the flow, which kind of makes it that much more
I
terrifying.
want to hug him. Like I just want to hug him. And then she just kept gripping it, like she didn't let go. So I'm like, okay, she killed him. She suffocated. And someone had reached out and asked me, like, hey, did you plan on that guy like just in time being like one of like Stan's like bastard children? I'm like, I had planned on it until Drew showed up with Koala Tea Time and kind of like just hopped right in there.
Like think about it.
It's like-
The most terrifying place to be in a game world with Claudia is to be Claudia's child at death time.
So,
Nice.
so folks who haven't watched those episodes, and like, I mean, I know there are some people out there who listen to this and they're like, okay, I haven't got to the Dicey Bastards yet, and because I'm still going through the backlog of the old games, or I'm doing the Janes or the UFC or the other games like that, and I appreciate that, but please stop, join this game. But two, I've also had people say like, oh, I know there was that one like murder brawl, but I didn't watch that episode. You should have. You need to go back and watch that episode. Like
That one was fun.
I know it's 3 hours of fighting, but it is some of the best comedic 3 hours of fighting you're ever going to see. Because Emily was the first one to discover I put dynamite on the map for a reason, and Emily blew people the fuck up. And you really need to see this because it's like she killed characters. Like God, I can't even do it justice. Just watch it. Just go back and watch the Murder Brawl 3-parter.
Yeah, the funny part is I don't really try to like to do things like this.
No, you're a chaos goblin. It just happens. Yeah.
I do have some backup characters though. I have one but they're ones that I played in like private games,
Sure.
not in public. One of them is Woodya, who is she's a cleric, but she's extremely grouchy, as most clerics are, I guess. And she's wood gnome or something like that.
Okay.
And her last name is Leave Me Alone. Woodya, leave me alone.
Nice.
Yeah. She's one of my favorites.
So do you want Claudia to die or something? Is this a cry for help? Would you want to take this
No, she's always waiting in the wings. She's patient.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like years back, I think it was in my second Bill book, Scary Dead Things. I needed a character name for one of Bill's past characters, and I just came up with an alchemist named Professor Blastingus.
Okay.
And a couple years after that, I needed a new character because my character gotten killed in the game, and I was like, why not?
Yeah.
And holy shit, he turned out to be so much fun to play.
When I get ideas for characters, sometimes I know I'm never going to get a chance to play them, so I just make them NPCs. Like the character when you guys met Trudy Goodnight. Like I've always loved. Like there's an old one of those Brothers Grimm stories about a woman named Mother Trudy, and she was like, it's just this little one of these like short 1 page short fairy tales. But the concept of this old woman who is strong as shit, who has some dark dealings and some magics. I like this idea of like this 50-year-old woman who's seen some shit. and she's a fighter. She's got a little bit of magic, and when I crafted her the sword, like now she's just tending bar, and it's like I loved this, and she's just a bare knuckle brawler. So Trudy Goodnight, like just like I want to write a book about her. That's how much I love this idea of this bare knuckle broad who's seen shit, like.
Well, that's awesome. I would read it.
Yeah.
As a 50-plus-year-old woman who has seen some shit.
The thing is, like, I am currently working on a new project. I always call it my secret project because I haven't really talked too much about it. But there is a Mother Trudy type character who will be eventually known as Trudy Goodnight in that book. She's not the main character, but she will be in it. So yeah. All right, you want to go on to the next question?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
He says in the radio voice. All right, if your character got a tattoo, what would it be? And I think we could get some locations for some. Seldriana wants to know this. If your character got a tattoo, what would it be, and where would you put it?
So, Moog 100% would get Elf Die. Except if he wandered into towns where, like, that maybe that wasn't too friendly, he'd pass it off as German. And no, it's D Elf D.
I was gonna ask if it was like on his knuckles, but he doesn't have that many knuckles right now.
No, like it's Die and Die on his knuckles, but it's on his chest as Elf, so it's like Die,
Oh, I like that.
No, he'd get it tattooed on his like warhammer.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a euphemism?
On a shillelagh there. What about, would Claudia ever get a tattoo?
Wait, didn't they, somebody burnt tattoos into us, didn't they? Do we have tattoos
you do have
right
one.
now?
Technically, you all do. You have a magic tattoo that Father Brandon. But no, would you willingly, sit down and get some ink done, or would Claudia's?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure she would. Just like randomly one day, just like, oh, go ahead, tattoo this, I don't know, hex symbol on.
Or say, would you get like a small, Eat, Pray, Love, or like a butterfly in the lower back? Or you just go like the first one's from like your forehead down to your knee, just like The Rock, like, or Jason Momoa, like tattoo, like from like just because, just show up one day and act like it's totally normal. Like
she would be the person who would get like a forehead tattoo to like on a dare, or to like fulfill a quest, or something weird like that. Maybe a neck tattoo.
Yeah, it'd be like abyssal ink from like from the 999th layer.
See, now that's the thing, is like, so do people in like the D&D world like get tattoos like in other languages? Like it means like strong and abyssal, or it means mysterious in Sylvan, and then some elf comes along and is like, no, it means freak, or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
Fried squirrel or something.
Exactly. Also, would Emily be mad if I made an NPC, would you just show up and like, hi, and walk off camera just to piss you off? So.
No, go ahead. I think that'd be funny.
All right, let's see. Paladin Steve, seen any good anime lately?
Oh, man.
All right, so Netflix and I think Crunchyroll as well. They have a remake of Ranma 1/2, and I'm really enjoying that. That's probably like been my favorite thing to like watch for the last couple weeks, because the last couple weeks have been just a dearth of really shitty anime, where I start an episode and I'm just like nope.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize to the Dragon Ball fans out there. I'm a big Dragon Ball, fan myself, but I can't get into Dragon Ball Daima. I just have zero interest in watching the cutesy adventures of like them turned into kids. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Emily, you an anime fan?
Well, off and on. I think the last thing I watched was Delicious in Dungeon, but
I tried that. I couldn't get into it.
It's pretty repetitive. Like.
Yeah.
They go fight stuff, they eat it. They fight stuff, they eat it. Yeah. So, but I was watching with my kid, so that's a little different.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like I watched some of that with my kid. My kid, he's going through his various anime phases, and like he's currently going back to watch all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yep.
And I can't follow him. I can't follow him on this path, because when it starts off as a vampire hunter, I was like, okay, I was kind of into it with it, but then when it's just getting weirder and weirder, and every time he tries to tell me about an episode, it reads like a fever dream. You ever had that annoying thing where a friend tries to tell you about a dream? You were in it, but you weren't in it, but you were there, but you weren't there.
Yeah.
But it was you, but you were a chicken, but you didn't know you were a chicken. But like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is important to no one but you.
Yeah, I think I made it
And-
through 3 or 4 seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure before I was
Right.
just like, yeah, I'm
Every
checking out here.
episode- And being told that by a near 13-year-old now who's trying to recount these adventures to me is like, I like, you have 7 minutes, and that, I'm gonna cut you off then. So go. You
Yeah.
know? Anime. I have love-hate with anime because there's some stuff I love, stuff I grew up with, and I had a big break, and I'm coming back. Like obviously, I'm wearing an anime T-shirt now because like this one was the Attack on Titan. This was such an amazing show that was like, it wasn't just good, it was like masterclass of storytelling, because every time you think you know what's going on, one more layer is peeled back and one more layer is peeled back, and like who you think are good are now evil, or who you thought were evil are now good, or is it, and it's
Until you
throughout the
got to
entire
the,
run of
until
that
you
show.
got to the political season, and then it started to suck.
I see, but I even got into that because like I was cool when it was just people fighting giant monsters. I was very much into that. Great. But then once you got into the understanding of the why and the lore behind it, and it got bigger and bigger, and the plight of Eren Yeager and what he became towards the end, like, no, man, I was start to finish, baby. It had me hooked. So much so that even when I ran out of English, yes, I'm an English. I listen. I'm a dub watcher, and come at me, weebs. I dare you. And but I actually liked it so much that I started watching it with subtitles because I needed to know how the story went.
Now, you know something? My wife is a purist, but like, you know something? I like turning on like the English dubs, especially if I see like Chris Sabat is like
Right.
voicing something. I'm all in.
Yeah. It depends on the anime, I think.
Yeah.
So, some of them are pretty complex, and I want to read the subtitles and hear the actual Japanese inflection, even though I don't understand. Well, I understand like.
Well, see, even when I'm listening to the English, I'm still reading the subtitles because I'm that guy who. Like,
yeah. Well, me too.
Everything. Okay.
I'll admit it. Yeah. But a question for Paladin Steve, who when he listens to this, were you a fan of East Infection, the anime run that Steve Bevan and I did, and should we resurrect that in some form? So there.
Well, what was that? So that was before my time.
Yeah, we watched the entire anime of Utna, Revolutionary Girl, which is Bevan's choice. He was obsessed with that anime.
The
it's
only anime he watches.
The only one.
Dude,
yeah.
If you guys set that up, I'm in. We'll find something that we all like can either group loathe or group enjoy. I would so be in on that.
Or even if we didn't watch entire shows, we could just do samplings, go around, watch
That would
them.
be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, next up. All right, from Heinous Lizard, we might have done this one before, I don't recall, but in case we didn't, what's a common trope that still draws you in as a reader? I don't recall if we did this question or not. It seems familiar, but I was scrolling pretty far back to get questions, so I make sure I got like a sampling of everybody that wanted to put questions out. So in case we did, so be it. We'll do it again. What's a common trope that still draws you in as a reader?
Well, I'm a mystery reader, and I feel like every mystery is pretty much, I don't know, full of tropes. And romance too. I mean, that's why people read them, because you want something familiar.
Right.
So there's like all of these niche categories of romance, and you pick out the exact one that you want. Like, I went back home and I fell in love with my high school bully, whatever, which is a horrible trope, by the way. But yeah, you could pick out what you want to read, and then it's like made to order. It's so weird.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, if you try selling your book to me via tropes in it, I'm not going to fucking read it. I don't give a shit about tropes. I want to see a cover that draws me in, and I want to see a blurb that makes me want to learn more. I don't give a shit if I don't care that you're telling me, oh, there's an HEA, oh, there's a bully romance, oh, there's like, there's a prophecy. I don't give a fuck about that. I want a good story, and I want you to to draw me in with marketing materials that basically are like okay, give me a good cover and then tell me Jurassic Park meets John Wick. Now I'm kind of interested.
We just had this discussion on Den fans on the Authors and Dragons Discord in the book section. We just had this discussion with some of the fans. They were talking about the blank plus blank thing that a lot of writers use, and some people say, I think it was actually Zach. So I was like, for some reason to him it feels like stolen valor if you're saying this is Harry
Yes.
Dresden meets Deep Impact or some whatever 2+ things.
Yes.
But as writers, that's kind of what we're taught to do because we're trying to pitch it and sell it to someone else.
Well, here's the thing. Even forget about being taught what to do. I can't stand doing it either. But
none
here's
of us
the
like
thing. It works.
Yeah.
For every person who says, I hate when authors do that, there's 3 other people
7
who are
more.
who-
I made 7 books I sold 7 books by just doing it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand it. You know, what people need to understand is most authors hate doing that as well, but we also try to do what sells our books, and that sells books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marketing is completely different from writing.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like Steve, excuse me, I called you Steve, like Rick. I was having this conversation with the same people. Like when I look at it as like, I use the first date principle. So the front cover is, do I find this person attractive? Back cover, I start reading it. It's flirtation. Is there a spark there? And then I read the first few pages and that's the first date. And after that, I'll decide if I want a second.
Oh,
You know.
okay. So that was just metaphorical attractive. I'm thinking like, I don't want you jacking in my covers.
Dude, I'm going to fuck that book. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just thinking, put a blurb on your butt.
Butt blurb.
Butt blurb.
The holiest of holies is just below. If you just like,
you know something that would, I hate to say it, that would just be if like,
is that your tattoo?
no, but think about it. Like, I'm like thinking, okay, if somebody got like a Bill tattoo or so, but if somebody would take the blurb of your book and basically tramp stamp it, or that would just be so awesome.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be. You've made it then. They take their shirt off in the back. It's just like there's a big ink parchment scroll, and it's just the blurb of your book down the middle of their back. So yeah. And then touch here if you want to know more, right at the bottom.
and that final word just disappears in the butt crack.
Yeah, 100%.
Funny.
All right. What's one of the weirdest dreams you remember having? Zach of all trades.
Oh. You know.
Did we have this one?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I'm not thinking of a weird dream, but I was just thinking the other day that I have not had a flying dream in a long time.
And I just get done telling other people's dreams are stupid, but okay, keep going.
No, I used to have them all the time as a kid. Like, not like Superman flying, but just like
Right.
standing there and all of a sudden like flapping your arms, like swimming and just
Yeah.
like moving upward.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Like I start bicycling my feet and I start propelling myself in the air, and then I kind of it's like you're floating through the water. You're treading water through the air. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a vivid dreamer, so I remember a lot of my dreams, and a lot of my dreams are weird as fuck. And I'm also and my dreams are vivid enough where like it's pretty common for me to like be startled awake by something, and when I wake up, I'm still partially in the dream.
Yeah.
So it's like reality and the dream kind of meshes. More than once, I've gotten up out of bed to to grab something that was falling over, like a pitcher of water or a kid or something, and only to just kind of have them disappear from within my grasp. And it's confusing enough where like I will stand there like the pitcher of water thing. I will stand there with nothing in my hand, knowing it's nothing in my hand as my body is waking up, but I will still find a shelf to put it on just in case. But as far as weirdest dreams I can remember, I remember one when I was from years and years and years back, where I was fighting against Leonard Nimoy, except Leonard Nimoy wasn't Leonard. He wasn't he was a person, but he was also a demon.
This is exactly what I was saying earlier. Yeah. Leonard Nimoy, but it wasn't Leonard Nimoy, but it was. So keep going.
And yeah, it's like he was this demon from hell, and at the end of the dream, he captured me and he put me in suspended animation, and that's how I woke up.
I always call this one my first dream because it was not my first dream, but it's the first one I was around 6 that has stuck with me ever since then. And actually, this dream is one of the reasons I ended up writing my Technomancer series, because in this dream my mom was a single mom for a number of years until I was about 5 or 6 years old. So this is when I was about 6 or 7. But I was at my babysitter's house, and then the babysitter was like one of those ladies who had 6 or 7 kids throughout the day kind of thing, and she just it was daycare kind of thing. And in the dream, all the kids started disappearing, and I couldn't find them. And I went outside to the back patio, and I started finding them. They were all laying on the ground, dead and bleeding, and their throats had been cut. And then I looked, and there was this one of those old fashioned. Remember those? It's kind of like pyramidal, like this. Those things, the clothes hanger, things like that. their kids hanging from that as it's going around.
Wow.
And I'm trying to pull them down. I look up in the sky and there's this flipping black box that opens up and it's a portal to hell. And there's the devil and he's looking at me and he's laughing at me. And
Right now, there are old federal agents listening to this podcast going, God damn it, she's starting to remember.
When I was like around 6 or 7, or whatever the age this was, it's like, again, so long ago, we'll just say 6 for this. I felt like the devil was taunting me. And so in my, in the Technomancer books, it is where the books where hell takes over and the devil's taunting the main character, Salem. So it is like that dream has been a driving force for my that particular entire book series is based off that dream I had as a kid. And then I just had to get good at writing to put it down. So yeah, I got some weird dreams. I'm like you. I have such vivid dreams that I wake up, I'm like, motherfucker, I need help. So yeah.
Nice. I don't have like a weird dream that I remember, but the most prophetic dream I've ever had was I dreamt that my dad we were walking down the street and he kept falling and couldn't get up. It was like a cobblestone road and he had a cane and it was just like he kept falling. It was like repeated like 4 or 5 times. And then he was visiting me a week later in real life, and he told us all that he actually had cancer. And so I was like, whoa, maybe whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in that stuff, but it was very coincidental.
So, you know something?
Did it happen?
The falling or?
No, the cancer.
The cancer, yeah, the cancer was real.
Jesus. Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I don't know. It's okay.
I do have proof of one time being like that happening, because we all have that sense of deja vu from dreams. I had a dream with a friend of mine, and I explained to them, and it was really weird. It was a kind of a weird circumstance, and I told them the dream. I was like, I had a dream about you last night. It was a little bizarre. We were doing this. We were like, whatever. And a couple of years later, we were in that exact weird scenario. Like I said, very specific. It wasn't just like, oh, we were walking on the street together. And I looked up and I was like, you remember what I told you about this dream? And she was like, now that you mention it, I do.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. I think though my most frightening ones are what I call voice of God dreams. Do you ever have a dream where in your head you hear a voice that is just so insanely loud it wakes you up, except it's all in your head?
Not a voice, but a sound usually.
Yeah, something like usually like a sound or usually it's a shock. It's an overwhelming sense of feeling that hits me so hard that I come awake from that. It's not a falling, it's not a flipping, it's not danger. It's just an emotion so large that my body has to react to it and it forces me awake.
Yeah. There's I have a recurring dream that actually it's very mundane, but I'm always visiting a seaside tourist town. It's very cute. And I've been there so many times now in my dreams that I know the streets and I know when things change. I'm like, oh, they redid that, or something dumb like that. But yeah, me. I redid that. Yeah, weird.
All right, let's see. What is the next question? We've got what songs make you cry or get choked up from our friend Blix.
Blix, what are you trying to do?
Cry or choked up? I mean, I was at a middle school dance once and REO Speedwagon, so now I get a Pavlov's boner every time you
All right, so songs.
There is one for me, and it's a weird song, and I don't know why it does it. Well, I know why. It's actually a Bad Religion song called Sorrow, and it's the father, and then the opening line is like, Father, can you hear me? And I loved that song, and I grew up listening to it because I was like a punk kid, but then right after my dad died. So for some reason, obviously, I've got raging daddy issues to begin with. Anybody who knows me knows this. So when I hear it now, it's like I can't not think of that time, and I'm doing my best to I'm gonna listen to it. No One's Home, because I'm gonna have myself a good old fashioned cry. So,
All right, so there are no songs that make me cry or get choked up.
You're dead inside.
Well, typically, so the one emotion I love getting from songs is anger.
Sure.
And I love when like there's a hard rock song that's just like ah, and it's just like it just sparks something in me because it's just like it just
Sure.
getting that way, and I don't know, I just find that so energizing.
Yeah. I'm not dead inside. I'm dead outside.
The tear ducts don't work.
Yeah, they do. I
I
swear.
cry on the inside, but the outside I'm like more.
I'm like emotionally constipated or something. Very few things make me cry, and but music associated with other things, definitely. Like I went to see my kids' first marching band performance a few years ago, and I was also a band nerd, so I was like, ah! It just was uncontrollable. But
Fucking band nerds. Okay.
I know.
We
cry from the trauma.
But no, like there are some shows like a good story will actually bring me, like, because I am a very emotional person. People that like know me, I love to wear my emotions on the sleeve, but that's not just sadness. I love joy. I love anger. I love sadness, because if you're only in a state of one, you don't know the beauty of the others, so I like when I spin the wheel of emotions that day and see what happens. A good show, a good book, a good movie, those type of things, I get so invested that it brings that out of me. Obviously there's real life things, obviously when you lose someone you love. When my son was like, my son was doing one of those bullshit graduating from this grade to this grade kind of crap, and it's all bullshit. Sorry other parents out there, but unless it's a real graduation, like you're graduating high school, then everything else is bullshit. But we had to go to my son who's graduating from 6th to 7th grade or some shit like that. But his teacher stood up and said specifically that, like, he said all these nice things about my son, but like he did not just nice things. He saw my kid the way that I see.
Aww.
And all the other classmates, like, he got voted class clown, and they were like, oh no, he is so much fun and he's much funny and we love having him around. And they saw him, not just the name, they saw him as a person. Oh, I lost it. I am losing it. I'm like, look at my wife, like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Did your kid come up to you afterwards and be like, Dad, why you gotta be embarrassing me by being a crying little pussy?
Yeah. Well, good thing I'm taller than he is, and I just punched him. I punched him right hard in the face, like the way my father punched me, and it will pass down these generations of. Next question. Okay. Do you have an innocuous
beat the sorrow out of you?
Yeah. Do you have an innocuous life curse, such as fitted sheets never goes on the right way in the first try? Is there something in your life that just is always wrong? Do you have a mummy curse on you from something, about anything? Seldriana wants to know this.
Yeah, I think I have a bunch of these, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm bald and it sucks.
Yeah. But I'll say this. Yes, if it's in a bathroom emergency, I run in. There's no roll of toilet paper. I grab one from the closet and run back in. That roll of toilet paper will be the hardest fucking roll to start on the goddamn planet. It's like the sheets have been welded together.
I was gonna say, you have a million cats.
I'm not using the cats when I'm running into the bathroom. What?
During the most of my dating life, I will always find someone who's emotionally unavailable. I always found that person. Whenever I tend to join something, it's always like right when it's about to fall apart. So the author's dragon better not fall apart. I have certain things that do happen all the time. I'm trying to break those gypsy curses. Thank you. So
yeah, my resume is full of companies that no longer exist.
Same.
Well,
When I was a contractor, I do the same thing. So
you just have to lean into it. I'm the finisher, or I'm
the Summer Glau. Like whoever she joins a project, it just cancels.
Yeah,
so I'm the Summer Glau of.
I'm the death knell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the thing is, every time I've done that, my department has done well, and it's just been everybody else has tanked.
Yep.
Except you can't really say that in an interview because it makes you look like arrogant. But it's the truth. It's like, my department was was profitable. All these other motherfuckers didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Because I was undermining the whole time.
My curse is that the first time I try something, I usually do a pretty good job. But when I start getting into it and trying hard, then I suck really bad. So that makes me...
Is this a sex story?
No. Well,
first time I was great.
Well,
after that, diminishing returns.
No. It just seems like when I start caring and I really try hard, then I tank things. I just have to go around not giving a shit, and then
all right,
everything's perfect.
So
Yeah,
Emily
you just described my
Emily
entire 20s,
destroys
baby.
everything she loves.
Yes, like that stupid koala.
All right, let's see here. What is the best fall themed snack? Also from Celdriana. It's fall. October's passes. We are now in November. What is the best fall themed snack?
Snack. Mm.
Well, I think snack we can widen this term. You know, what's your fall themed drink? What's your fall themed pastry or what's your fall themed food? What's your go-to?
All right. Okay, so 2 dishes that I like to cook in the fall. I like to make my chili recipe, and
So
I
does
like
my
to
wife.
make
Yep.
and I like to make gumbo.
Yumbo.
Oh. I'm not a gumbo guy.
Ask Rick about beans and chili.
I do like a good fall themed chili. I don't want to know this. Did you shit your pants? Did you shit somebody else's pants?
No. He just thinks they're sacrilege.
No, beans don't go in chili. They don't go in chili.
Oh God, what are you, some Texas purists? No, they are.
Well, I'm personally have the mindset that, well, I cook probably better Texas chili than most Texans. That's just my personal opinion.
I've got his address, Texas. Just to let you know, I can send you.
Don't even get me wrong. I've got, like, last time I made gumbo, I went on there and I explained why New Jersey gumbo was better than Louisiana gumbo, and I pissed off so many people on Twitter, and it was so wonderful.
Oh boy.
Let's see, fall themes. I mean, I do like a good apple cider, like
Yeah.
a hot apple cider in the fall. It is a wonderful beverage. Obviously a good chili, so like cocos, things that warm you up. I've said it 1,000 times. I don't hate pumpkin. Caveat, but I'm sick of pumpkin always coming out. Like, we can have pumpkin all year long. Like, we live in a planet where I can have citrus all year long. Don't tell me we can't. Big Pumpkin knows they have an average flavor at best, and they tote it out this one time of year, so you all buy this shit. And the truth be told, if you had it year round, you'd realize it is like not even in the top 10 of best pies.
Yeah,
maybe number 10.
Like you mentioned apple cider. I drink apple cider all year long. I would drink eggnog all year long.
Yes.
Just give me my fucking eggnog.
So fun about apple cider. I got it, I was up in Alaska. I was like, I had to get off a couple of shifts, so I had the next 4 days off after these back-to-back set of midnight shifts. So I was going to play. I had nothing going on. I had an apartment to myself. I'm going to play this shitload of video games, and I had this big jug of apple cider. What I forgot about apple cider is it makes you poop, especially the more of it you drink. So I drank. There's a gallon of apple cider, and then next thing I know, I'm 8 pounds lighter. So yeah.
The fall makes me want to bring out my crock pot.
Yes.
So anything that's not really snacks, but anything that goes in the crock pot, warm, makes the house smell good. I'm like, yes. Yeah. But also, I drink a lot more chai in the fall, in the winter.
I like mulled things, like mulled ciders and mulled wines, and if you can mull a hot beverage and pass it over, and preferably make it alcoholic, I'm good. So.
What does mull mean?
I don't have a fucking clue.
I figured it just meant throw cloves in it.
Maybe
sure. Let me Google that shit. Right. What is?
Now I'll just say.
I'll mull it over.
I cannot stand any drink with cloves. I don't understand the appeal of cloves. I don't understand why cloves even exist.
Do you mean like with cloves floating around, or the flavor? The flavor. It's supposed to be the
both. Cloves floating in a drink, because if I get one in my mouth is going to go numb.
That's disgusting.
And the flavor of cloves, cloves have no. If the next answer is if you can pick one plant to go extinct, couldn't fuck everybody else, it's cloves.
It's probably the source.
Poison ivy. No, the clove is just.
It's probably the source of this life-saving heart drugs. Cloves.
As a man who used to smoke
and Rick's
cloves. Oh, by the way, mull means to heat, sweeten, and flavor with spices for drinking as ale or wine. So, So heat it, sweeten it, and flavor it. So basically, just make a drink. Damn it! I thought there was something more scientific or Yuletide about that, but nope. Just what we do with regular drinks.
Named after Richard Mull or something like that.
Who, Bull from Night Court?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Zach of all trades wants to know what. What is so if it's an object, or who is your, just hear me out, fictional crush. You got a fictional crush. It's not of the norm, because it's you got to hear me out on this one. So what's your fictional crush?
Dr. Sanjay Gupta. He's not fictional though. medical consultant on the news channel or whatever.
No, but then you got to go into like no actual fictional, like
Okay.
like
Let me
the Baroness from GI Joe did things to me as a child and still does.
You remember that? You remember that one episode where she was just in a bikini for the entire episode?
What do you think? I got a tattoo to my lower back. It's like it's not going there. Like no, like dude, like a lot of those cartoons, like even like some of the sexy Autobot girls, like RC and like some of those, like like when they went back to Cybertron, like as a robot girls go.
You got to say, I got a tattoo on my back right above the blurb.
It wasn't a cool cartoon for a boy to watch, but along the same lines of the Baroness there. I always thought Jem was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
well, I did
know,
too.
Okay. Well, one, like, shut your damn mouth. I watched every episode of Jem, especially like because them and the Misfits were good, but when Riot and the Stingers showed up, now they had some good songs. No, I watched all of that because they were all cartoons. Jem was hot. Chitara, I mean, shit. I hope to age as well as Panthro. I want to be bald and muscular like him and be good to fix cars. Like he like that's a fit motherfucker. So yeah. You got any weird ones out there? Does it have to be cartoon based?
Yeah.
Something fictional? Dritch to Origin do it for you? No? All right. Moving on. Boneless wings or bone-in wings? Which do you prefer? Zach of all trades. I'll just be blunt. Boneless wings are nuggets for adults.
Yeah.
They are saucy nuggets for adults.
They each have their own special occasion. Like if you're watching TV and you want to just like zone out, you got to go with boneless and a fork.
Yeah, like something like popcorn. Like if I'm watching TV, you're right. Like a bowl of popcorn chicken. That's great. If I'm going to a place and it's like buffalo wings, those buffalo wings better have the bone in them because buffalo boneless wings just do not cut it.
Yeah, I mean everybody tries like no, you gotta understand boneless wings are different kind of meat and they form in like no, they're chicky nuggies for adults that have sauce on them and it's fine. Just call a spade a spade.
Yeah. So
they can be tasty.
So they always ask. Well, they don't always. They sometimes ask you which wings you like better, like the flats or
flats.
Flats. What are the other parts called? I guess
the drumsticks.
Drumsticks, yeah.
Do they call the pointy thing anything? Pointy end?
Yeah, the thing you throw in the garbage.
Yeah, the thumb.
The cartilage.
Yeah, Well, it's the tip of the actual wing, and like I just pull the breading off of that, and like if I find anything that's chewable that doesn't like when you chew down on it, then yeah, eat it. So yeah, but I like the flats myself. I like the chicken pull all the meat up, then snap it open and eat inside. So that's
I switch off it like I go through phases where like I want nothing but drumsticks, and others I want nothing but flats. It depends on the day.
Yeah, it also depends. Like, because I'm trying to get my son to appreciate what blue cheese does for a good wing, and he is just no father. You are wrong. Like you're dumb. So you're a dumb child. You'll get better. But like, damn, blue cheese on a good wing.
I'm non-dairy, so that sounds gross on top of cheese.
Yeah, I'm not like I have no problem with blue cheese dressing, but I don't like it on wings. You know why? Because when I'm eating buffalo wings, I like to suffer.
See, I don't like hot wings. I like flavor wings. I like. You bring me like, oh, this one's like the honey teriyaki or the barbecue or the the Old Bay or the whatever. Cool. But it's just plain old buffalo and the just different degrees of pain. That's not my jam.
Yeah, see, I don't like the other flavors of wings. I've tried a bunch of them. I always go back to buffalo, and don't get me wrong, I don't want my buffalo wings to to just utterly murder me, but I do want to suffer a little when I'm eating buffalo wings.
When I first ate my first real buffalo wing, like you're tasting that sauce, and I think it reminds me of the first time having.
When you open your mouth and the sauce makes you cough.
Yeah, but it made me think my first time having beer, like we're all lying to each other, right? Like this is just this is a group delusion. Like this is good. We all tell each other like this is like it's objectively a bad flavor, but we keep eating it or drinking like just piss water beer because we tell each other it's good when you actually have a good cocktail or a good tasting beer. You're like, there are actually good products out there, but we're lying, right? We're all lying to each other, and I'm convinced of that. So,
yeah, I am totally the honey barbecue type. I don't go for buffalo really.
And my kids love the honey barbecue.
Yeah, because I'm
I
sweet.
don't know. It's like when I'm eating buffalo wings, it's like I want it to be like a dominatrix. I want it to be like like stepping on my
We
face with
need a
high
safe
heels
word.
and telling me what a piece of shit I am.
Blix wants to know: have we ever considered doing a campaign or one shot using a different role playing system? And if so, which do we think would work, even if it's not in the card? So basically,
We
outside of
done
Dungeons
that.
and Dragons 5e. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what?
we've done that.
I would love
Yeah.
to do one that Judy has created because I haven't experienced any of her her projects.
I'm always
yet.
willing to try it. It's like I got to learn the system kind of things. I played a
Yeah.
lot of different systems growing up, but like, unfortunately, 5e is so easy. Well, relatively, but it's so easy to get in and kind of like fiddle around with because everything has got their own mechanics, got their own weird system. Like whether it's the D10 system on like like a lot of the old White Wolf games and.
Can you
How many
imagine us
successes
all
were-
as like flavors of vampire or whatever?
Oh God!
You know what? I would love
Just
I
kill
would
me
love
now.
to see the A&D crew in a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Yeah, I
I
played
think that would be hilarious. Well, it would be hilarious up until the point that like that Bob and tentacles were introduced, but
No, I mean, here's what always happens. I'm
Predictable.
always some like Colonel Roger T. Smythe and privateer, and I like immediately I run right to the tentacles. Like I'm like, oh, that's it. Here's my new god. There it is. Like I'm the first one to always go bonkers. So because that's where the fun happens. So all right.
I mean, we've done short one shots with other. We've done like Everyone is John. We've done inspectors.
Yeah.
The part of the problem is when we do like a one shot is we tend to think of it the night of the recording, which means we don't have time to actually learn the fucking system.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You know what? Who are we kidding?
God
Even
damn
if we had a month to prep, we wouldn't.
You're right.
What's something that helps set a creepy tone in books or movies?
Bill Murray at the piano going.
Well, no, you're not wrong. I mean, in movies, it's all about sound.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
on TikTok, there's one account that likes to show scary scenes with like dopey music, and
Yep.
it just shows like how it's just utterly ruined.
That opening.
But we don't have that
sound-
in books, though.
The opening tracking shot of the house in the original like Michael Myers movie and the original Halloween, and the music, that iconic music that's playing, that like when that tracking shot opens to the house, and they've shown you the same house but without the music, and it's a house, but the music, and it's just like Jaws, that da-dun, da-dun, that slow build. Like it's easy to get with a movie and television, like you said. In books it's really really hard to make something creepy.
My thing in books is I like to set up a sense of isolation and that help is not coming.
Yeah.
That's one of my go-tos. Is that's why a lot of my horror takes place in the forest. It's just an easy thing of like no, you're alone, no help is coming.
I like to so in my Hammer of Witches books, like I don't have a lot of horror things. I have a few scary things, but like when I start to dial up the tension and those type of thing to make it creepy, because like my character Aggie, I like to try, without saying it outright, like to try to describe the feelings of a panic attack. Like, but the very beginnings, like the heart starts to race a little bit of sweat, but then like not just but the little things, like the little pain you get in the side of your neck as that vein starts to pulse up and down, and then like that sense of like the pressure on the chest, and like you like the tunnel vision starts setting in, like, but without going too far into it, just enough, just like, so anybody who's ever had a panic attack, you don't want to trigger one, but you know that onset feeling of like, fuck, and that flight or flight starts to kick in, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I've actually ever written anything creepy. I try when I set out to try. I always end up being really goofy.
Yeah, good job, Saldriana. You're asking the cozy writer.
I know.
She didn't know who she was going to get, and I was just pulling
How
out
do you
some
make your
questions.
books creepy?
Just look cute and smile.
I don't know how many more we got here. So before we run out of time, Zach Valtrage has another one. Since we're approaching the spooky season, what are some of y'all's favorite cheesy horror movies?
Oh, that's
Just watch any freaking at the movies kind of thing.
Yeah. I always watch The Reanimator almost every year. I don't know why. I like that one.
I absolutely love one of Peter Jackson's early films, Dead Alive.
Dead Alive, yeah.
Yeah, it is so over the top with like blood and gore, and it's just fucking hilarious.
I am unfortunately not the cheesy horror movie guy, and I get shit on by the other people within the group. Like I didn't grow up with it. Like when we did like that last one, because I love DM Gay. I love talking to her. It's great to meet her for in person this first time. But man, like she's gave me a lot of shit. She's like, "What do you mean you don't watch this?" I'm like, "I didn't grow up with it." She's like, "Neither did I." I'm like, "It's not." But I don't. I have a problem. Like when I go, it's like my son. When I go back to look at something from 1990s and backwards, man, this looks like shit. Why would I do that? So I appreciate it when I'm watching.
She's going to find you at a convention, drag you into a room, and be like, "We're watching Roger Corman for the next 12 hours."
Oh God, it's like that time people made me watch Rocky Horror, and I'm like,
you're
not my
up.
friends anymore. We're not friends anymore. You made me watch this thing.
That whole movement, that whole cult like appreciation passed me by. I have to admit.
Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate the movie for what it is. I like Tim Curry, but
the problem was the first time I watched it was with like a whole bunch of Rocky Horror enthusiasts who are like, "Oh my God, you've never seen it. You've got to watch it." And they'll watch it. These fucking nerds will watch it at the drop of a hat. They put out the VHS tape and put it in and start watching it. And I'm like, and I'm trying to watch it because like when I watch a story, I'm in it for the story. Yeah. So I'm watching it, of course, and I hate musicals. Number one, everybody knows this about me. So, and what made it worse is like all these fucking people were getting out of the chairs, we're at the college house, and they all get out there and they just start fucking time warp dancing or thrusting their fucking hips in my face. Isn't this great, Kim? I'm like, I hate all of you. Yeah. I really it's oh my God. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Frankenfurter just molested everybody. Yeah. Just uses his position of power to fuck everybody in this movie. So
pretty much. But I mean, I'm the same way. Like if I'm watching a movie for the first time, as long as it's not in a movie theater, I prefer to watch it alone because I don't want to deal with other people's baggage.
Yep. All right, let's see here. God damn, Zach of all trades. You're the DJ at a wedding. However, due to some last-minute computer shenanigans, your playlist has suddenly vanished. The bride is about to walk down the aisle. What is the worst possible song that you could think of to play right now? Instead of Here Comes the Bride, what song do you play to ruin this wedding?
I don't know if it would ruin the wedding, but I play Nine Inch Nails, You Are the or was that 9 Inch Nails? I think it's 9 Inch Nails. You Are the Perfect Drug.
2 Live Crews, Pop That Pussy. And I
don't know, maybe Thank You Next. That's an
smack.
Is there a good divorce song? Call me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Best flavor of chicken wings.
Oh my God.
We kind of already went through this.
Skipping by that. We already did the tones and did that. Is there any chance we're ever going to get an origin story for the characters, your guys' characters, similar to how the Chronicles of Calamity crew got an origin story? Zach of all trades. Are you guys going to write your individual books, the backstory of Claudia, the backstory of Moog, et cetera, et cetera?
I feel kind of funny about this because I wrote one of Steve's and I wrote John's for them. So I might as well write Claudia's for myself, I guess.
Like I'm not going to say no because actually I had a lot of fun writing Silas's backstory, and I think writing Moogs would be fun too. It's just a matter of finding the time to slip it in.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a joke. Sorry.
That really did not.
Sorry, I thought I'm a child. All right, we have one last question. And it is from JLD. Do centaurs have a similar diet to horses or humans?
I mean,
we'll have to quiz Drew on this.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I would think.
No, let's centaur explain to him. Let's just tell him, no, this is how it is now.
Yeah.
So,
like, just the sheer way that they're set, they technically should have 2 sets of organs for most of their stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 poop chutes?
Well, no, but they have like a stomach here and a stomach back there. They have a liver here, they have a heart here, and like so, it's like a man on a horse, and the horse is like from the shoulder to the butt has organs in there, unless it's just one big long digestive tract that forms an L.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. Like like their horse body is just nothing but a giant bag of intestines.
Yeah.
But the whole driving thing is the human brain and the human taste buds. So I can't imagine like bales of hay through the human chewing buds.
Not oats, they're not down with oats. I mean, are they going to have they're just going to eat some burger? Does the Minotaur get pissed at them for that?
Huh.
I don't know. I like to think they eat like people do.
See,
They eat like the forest. They eat
that'd be
deer.
kind of fun. Like, what if just like a centaur was just aggressively all about the oats? It's like, would you like some stew? Which part about bring me a bowl of fucking oats did you not understand?
I got this Wilford Brimley selling me like Quaker oatmeal thing. Like it's just like.
But angry and ripped.
Do I look like I want the diabetes to you?
I still see the driver's cap like
Oh,
this
yeah.
character wears.
God, that's what I should just bring in is like an overweight centaur, like a Wilford Brimley centaur who's got the beatus. It's like he's got
Big
one of his legs is
mustache.
I think
big
if you talk to
mustache.
people who own horses will eat a wide variety of stuff. It's not just like they eat nothing but oats, because horses like to snack.
Yeah, like apples.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I literally got to Google what horses eat. But I always imagine like they just eat like the way people do. Like they'll have roast deer. They'll run around the forest. They'll forage on wild vegetables and whatever meat. I figure they're
because it's weird because like there are a lot of animals that are technically like vegetarian, but in a pinch will become omnivores. Like squirrels will fuck something up if squirrels get hungry enough.
Well, like a lot of like apes and baboons and like they will kill another monkey and eat him. So
Damn.
Yeah.
So maybe horses occasionally get cravings where like they'll just walk into a field, look around, nobody's there, and they'll just pick up a house cat and just tear its fucking head off.
Wow.
Just missing children. He's just trumped down on the neck, just shaking like Timmy from left to right, like a rag doll. So.
I'm not apologetic. I need a lot of calories to run this thing.
You see how big my ass is?
You see the size of that blurb?
Like a horse just one day is like, I have tasted protein and it is good.
He's got a tattoo in Elvish that says, like alpha. I don't know. So yeah. All right. I think we've reached the end of the questions. Do you guys have any questions for our friends and family out there? You can just say no.
Which of our books are you buying for Christmas gifts?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good call. Any new releases coming for either one of you? Anything coming up? Do you want to plug anything?
So, I stupidly set Time Chaser, which is my first lit RPG, to go live on Election Day, which is this coming Tuesday. But I'm not pushing it right now because the cover that it has is not really selling the book. So I'm waiting for the new cover to be finished, which is probably not going to happen. So this is one of those books where I'm kind of I'm stuck with the launch. I can't do anything about it. I'm kind of just kind of sliding along. And then hopefully once the new cover is there, then I'm going to try to push it harder.
Okay. The Time Chasers. Lit RPG by Rick Waltieri.
Yeah.
Emily, do you have anything coming?
Very cool. Still working on a draft. I'm doing a couple holiday shows, so I'll have Arsenic and Alibis out there. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. I'm still working on a draft of my next villains book, but for those who really want to have a good time with a villainous, fun, fourth wall breaking, cruel, dark humor, then the Shadow Master series books 1 through 3 are available on Audible for 1 credit. So you can get like the first 3 books in one, the Shadow Master collection, books 1 through 3 on Audible. Please get it and enjoy it.
Oh, and of course, if you're one of the listeners out there and you're sticking with the old games, listening to Salty Bastards, you listen to Chronicles of Color, give Dicey Bastards a try.
Oh yeah,
it's a really fun fucking game.
Just jump in, and it's fun, and it's like and you can listen to a few episodes and go back. You listen to a few episodes and go back. Trust me, like we're only like 17 or 18 episodes in. You're like, you got time, so come and enjoy us. Like, be in the now, be in the zeitgeist. Fuck those old people. So
who are mostly us.
Yeah, but I wasn't there. And so
yeah.
So on behalf of Rick Waltieri and Emily Kaplan, I'm MK Gibson. Thank you all very much for tuning into this special interlude. We'll be back next time when we actually have the next the concluding episodes of what happens next in the town of West Cherry and the Dicey Bastards. Thank you all. You've been great. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons!